there's a time to attack and there's a time to be passive. Most of the owners right now are afraid, they're frustrated, they're doing stupid rants on social media, they're angry at the government, they're doing stuff like I'm not wearing masks, and they're Biden or Trump, they're back and forth on your gym site. You don't do that in your business site. You know what the guys that are making money are? The guys are quietly going about their business. They're reaching out, stealing everybody's clients that failed. They're dragging everybody with them, and they're just kicking ass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Masters in Fitness Business Podcast, where you get to stand on the shoulders of giants. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with Thomas Plummer once again in our first ever happy hour. So cheers. Cheers to you wherever you are. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, I'm sure. It's not 5 o'clock here, but it still tastes just as good. It tastes like 5 o'clock, I'll tell you that. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to spend the first 10 minutes just chatting and getting Thomas loosened up. Hopefully get him on the second glass of wine in the first 10 minutes. We'll have to encourage him and coach him.
I might be ready.
We'll just be like DJ Khaled, and another one, and another one. So, but first, I want to start off by welcoming Thom. Thom, thanks for joining me, and thanks for doing this, man. I appreciate it.
Always not. I have a lot of fun on this show, so
yeah.
I think sometimes we actually get stuff done too.
Well, I wanted the listeners to experience what I experienced from every workshop of yours that I've gone to, from the speaker school to the business school to the social media workshop, is that when we go to the socials and you get a couple of glasses of wine in you, man, the information just flows like Niagara Falls. So and it's even more unfiltered than what you usually delivered. So I wanted the listeners to experience that raw fire hose of information in the face that you can sometimes deliver. So, but I wanted to start off by talking about, I know you said earlier in the earlier podcast that it's going to be May 2021 at least until we come out of this. And we always know that summer is a slow time. So I think it may be January 2022 before we see a return to normal levels. So what do we do until then? How do we get clients in the door, the new clients, the new normal clients? And then from an expense or operating expense standpoint, where do we contract and where do we expand?
I wrote another letter in the series today, and I looked at it and I realized I'm going to have to rethink it to send it. It's only been a week since we talked, but I'm looking at this letter going, it's almost, I'm going to have to soften it, because when I tell people what they really should do, nobody wants to hear it.
Yeah.
And but it's simple. I think the biggest thing to think about for everybody is you can make a lot of money in this. There's a way forward. But the common mistake that everybody makes over and over and over again is they just can't stop trying to get it back to the way it was. They don't. You have to adapt to what's in front of you now. What do you see now? What's happening? I talked to one of my oldest clients today. I've known this guy almost 20 years, and he's got the virus. And here's a gym, a couple hundred clients, and I'm telling the guy, and this is probably the controversial, and I'll start with the fact that let's let the wine go. That I asked him, the first thing is like, were you wearing a mask in your gym? No. I said, he's going to cost me clients. And I'm not political. I don't care about your politics. We've said this before. I mean, again, we just talked last week, and God, look what the world has changed in a week. But everybody that opens a business, that borrows money from their parents, borrows money from a bank, investors, you've earned the right to make money, but you've also earned the right to fail. There's no entitlement in this. And this is where a lot of owners are like, the government's taking my business away. This is unfair. It's my constitutional right. It's you have a right to play the same game the rest of us play with the same restrictions. So if my state mandates this, they're not mandating it to punish you. They're mandating to save somebody's grandmother. So what I'm telling these guys is it's the probably the most controversial thing. We might as well throw that out right now. I'm telling people, if you own a gym, put your staff in mask, you wear a mask, and don't let the clients in without mask. If you do that, the economy reopens. It's it. It's that simple. There's so much non-science. Well, Fauci's full of crap, or this guy. I'm going to believe. I've got to go with the science. I grew up. I have many years of education beyond college. I'm going to go with the scientists. I'm going to go with people that I'm going to go with the fact that you're going to have to follow some basic rules. So answer your question directly. It's patience. Just how's business today? And so the guys that I think that, and plus I'm validated here. If you look at California, you look at Arizona, you look at Texas, they've closed.
I'm going to jump in real quick. I know you said you're going with the science. I'm going with the numbers. And what the numbers are telling me is that clients are down, membership is down, revenue is down. So that's the reality in which I have to run my business. It doesn't matter where I fall on the virus, whether I fall on the side of conspiracy or, the mask, it doesn't matter. What matters is the numbers in keeping the doors of my business open. Yeah.
What's the why behind that? And it's simple. If you've got 200 clients and you're reopen and 30 days into it, you've got 100 clients. They don't trust you. They don't feel safe in your gym. So what I saw in Georgia, what I saw in Texas, what I saw in Arizona, here's guys opening. We don't wear masks here, that's not our thing. And, they're 30 days into it. One, they either got shut down because the states went dark, or they got into it. And it's just, if you would have done it, you might have been able to stay open. But the mask has become a political nightmare. I don't care which side you're on. I'm about making money. I've been in this 40 years. I've survived this for one reason. I truly believe what separates me over the years is I really do care that my friends and clients stay in business, make money, take care of their families. People trust me, and I've got to give that trust back by helping them. So when I give people advice, it's not political. It's the fact that, look, you've got your whole life in this gym. Don't lose it. And so if you're opening, put mask on everybody. You're going to lose a couple of clients. In the red states, you'll lose 5 to 10%. But if you've been open 60 days and you've got 50% of your clients back, they know. They follow social media. They talk to the other clients. And so you're standing there, and there's this guy today I was talking about. He's a nice guy. He's a good gym owner. He's an exceptionally talented coach. He's one of the few guys I would give master coach title to. And yet here's a guy that he's going to have to shut his gym down for probably 30 days because he's coaching without a mask. He's going to test positive, and he has no defense. How do you've got to start all over again. Yeah. So the advice I give people is everybody's frustrated, but be patient. What's in front of you now? What's your reality? Instead of stop reaching for 2019 and trying to grab it and drag it here, how are we going to position, as you said, for the next year? How are we going to position? There's business to be had. 30% of the clubs in the country, the gyms, the mainstream fitness centers, over 30% are closed. How many training clients are out there waiting to find a guy like you? But they don't know where to start because we don't do the right thing on video because we're so busy ranting about the government. I've got an old client in California, a guy's really good human being, just a good gym. Every post he's done in the last, and because I'm looking just to see when he's going to break this trend, every post is he's angry at the government. And so but I'm looking, but now he's bitching because, they're closed. Well, yeah, you're closed. It's not, you could bitch about the government. If you're unhappy, you should bitch by voting. You should bitch by donations. But you have to play within the rules, slow down, be patient, and plan to be here until 2021 under some type of mandate or some type of restriction. If you do that, there's an immense amount of money to be made for the owners that are patient.
Yeah, that's good advice. Good
And I only
advice.
had 2 sips of wine, dude. Only 2 sips of wine on that.
Oh man, I mean, we're right now we're on the low flow shower head. We're about to switch to the fire hose.
Next time
All
you're gonna
right,
have
so
to let
let's
everybody in so we can see all the
yeah.
faces. Everybody's gonna have
Yeah,
to have
so
a glass with us.
that's my next step. I'm gonna start letting some people in, and then we'll go from there. All right, and if anybody gets too out of hand, we'll kick them out. All right, so there's 3 people coming in. There is Anytime Fitness, Chance, and Nick. So welcome to the meeting, guys. Welcome to the happy hour. How are you? You guys there?
Brooke, Chance.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How's it going, Jim?
How's it going?
Good. Just wanted to say, Jim, I really enjoy your podcast. Really good
Thanks.
value.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that, Chance.
Yep.
Oh, Brooke, I didn't know you were a fanboy.
I don't know. I listen. I'm very closet, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah. And
got a picture of you on his wall, Jim.
I just got you as Anytime. What's your name? You want to introduce yourself anytime?
Oh, sorry. I'm Laura.
Laura.
I own the Anytime Fitness in Oakmont, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh.
Okay. Oh, great. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. I appreciate it. Thomas has got a half a glass of wine in him. So like I said, you guys are getting a low flow shower head of information, but as the wine starts to flow, you will get the full fire hose in the face of Thom. So if you guys, hopefully you guys have some libations to drink, depending on what time zone you're in. If not,
good job.
All right, hold on. I'm going to let these 2 other people in, and then we'll start taking questions. All right. There we are. Jordan. Hey, Jordan. Welcome to the show. All right. And Chance, and then we should have one more. There's Nick.
Hi, Chance.
So Jordan and Nick have joined. Welcome to the show, everybody. For those of you guys just popped in, like I said, we've been loosening Thom up. He's got about a half glass of wine in him. So once he gets started on that second glass, you're going to get the fire hose in the face of information. So who's got the first question? Anyone?
I have one. So my first question, I had just switched to like an all-inclusive style packages where team training was included with small group and and private training, and it went really well. I did tons of upgrades, and then now it's looking like no chance for team trainings coming back this year. So I don't know what to do to add value to those packages. Nobody's really complaining yet, but it can't go on forever. I upped people's prices, but I'm not offering the service. So I don't know what would be a good alternative for team training that everybody would find beneficial.
Oh, got a plan for that. And the perfect time where you live to do it this summer is the team people out there that team's not coming back in the traditional sense, because it's going to be, even if you can do it, it's going to be probably at 25 to no more than 50% of your normal capacity anyway.
Right.
So if I'm going to do it, modify it, reinvent it, let it grow. So if I add things like on the light side, meditation, I can put meditation in 4 to 6 times a week. I'm sitting 6 feet apart and I'm not breathing heavy.
Yeah.
I can add restoration of movement. I can master flow patterns. I was hoping AF would do these, but if not, you're going to have to create your own system of flows and patterns. It's almost like it would be Anytime Fitness's version of a slow yoga, where I'm moving through this. So I'm not breathing heavy, but that goes on the schedule 4 to 6 times.
Like a mobility class.
Yeah, mobility,
actually,
but
myself
not
and
fast. Slow though, slow.
Yeah.
We talked a little about that when I saw you in the early or late winter, early spring
Yeah.
here.
Myself and one of my trainers were actually looking into the stick mobility certification, and then of course we can't go. I was hoping that maybe they would offer something online.
Nope, get the sticks, watch the videos, and create your own.
Okay.
And go to guys like Matt Pack. He's a really good owner down in Miami, but he's taken like the best of a lot of flow patterns and created flows for people after 40. Look at primal movement, look at animal flow. Create these things where it's a slower version of mobility. If Jim was working with a bunch of athletes, they might go at a lot faster. But if you're working with people over 40, it really flows as yoga. And you could actually throw boxing in, because boxing, when you're hitting a bag, hitting shield. So if I have those and team limited for what I can do with it, those are something. And you could probably, schedule wise, today's the 6th, you could probably have all these in place by right after the holiday in September. Mm-hmm. So you have a whole month to reload. But use team to support small group and one-on-one. Put at least 4 variants of team together, including the regional team, so 3 other variants. And team has a future, because I can control distancing, I can control movement, I can control those. So you have the team concept without just pushing sleds. Team is not just pushing sleds up and down. Just think of groups, but controlled groups.
Yeah. And the other thing that I would add in it too is you can contact Wayne Hawkins. He was a guest on a couple episodes back, and I've worked with him on some stick mobility work. He's got some unique exercises. You can reach out to him, and he probably has some videos. And he also does boxing, so he can tell you how to kind of set up the boxing curriculum. And then the other thing that I would piggyback on with Thom, with team, what we've done is we've kept team, but we've shrunk the size. So instead of the traditional 30, 40 people, we limit it to 10. And since it's smaller numbers, we can control it. But since it's smaller numbers, it's got to be a higher price point. So that might be the answer to your question too.
Yeah, we were already at 10, but then we also, during the shutdown, I expanded my gym, which was a blessing and a curse. But it's allowed us to have more space, but now we just have to, be creative about what else we do with it. We did add boxing, and that's been huge.
Let me add something here. Jim, this is big. This is so important. I'm working with the guys, 2 guys in London I reference once in a while. They're brothers. They're very, very talented owners. They have 5 units. During their 3-month shutdown, we reinvented the entire concept. They were team heavy. We did away with team, and we're going to do away completely with team in October 1st. So team will only exist if you sign up at the small group level. Then you get team as an extra added on, but you just can't take team. This is your chance to move your entire organization toward small group and one-on-one using team as a support tool. So instead of getting frustrated with it and the expansion, I think that's the best thing that happened to you. Jim and I were talking, I think before, I don't know if everybody could hear before you guys got on, but there's 30 to 40% of the gyms in the country closed. They're looking for you. They're looking for people that can keep them safe in a small group or one-on-one area, which you've redesigned your gym since we last met. So you're in a perfect position to really go hard and gather up these lost members. So I think it's a real blessing that you expanded. Your timing is perfect. If you slow down, be patient, and look at now there's our chance to sneak up the average return per client by making team a secondary, not a primary activity in the gym, and putting all the emphasis. If I could sell 30% of all my sales in the next 6 months in small group and one-on-one, what would that do to your business plan in 6 months?
Yeah.
That's what you're chasing.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked out really well for us. Like I said, we don't even have people that are signing up for, we're still selling those all-inclusive packages, and they don't even ask about team because we're selling the small group and the one-on-one. But I know at some point it's gonna, if I don't have anything at that level, it's gonna come back to bite me. So
just throw all these in the next month.
Yeah.
You've got, get your trainers together, get a couple of bottles of wine, get a bunch of sticks, and make some stuff up. I love the stick mobility guys, but some of the workouts, you know, if you take somebody, it would take Jim, as athletic as he is, just to get down in a lunge with a full bow movement. It's like it would launch a 90-pound woman through the wall doing that. It's insanity. So they're like, yeah, this is a normal movement. And it's just like, yeah, we do this. No, you don't do that in every workout, because nobody's 25 years old like that. Most of our people are, okay, come up with ways you could use the stick and have levels. Here's one more aggressive, and that's where their stuff fits. But you can have a more passive version of it that you kind of create yourself using some of their tools to do that. And I think that would be, I would love AF to come across and maybe do something with the flow pattern nationwide, but that's yet to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I've made that pitch.
Yeah. And I find that most of the people that are looking for those mobility classes are older anyway.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of young people aren't interested in the mobility classes because they don't have any mobility issues yet.
Yeah, they should be, but they're not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
we know that. They just don't know that.
Yeah, you're a 26 beat up CrossFitter. You know, not tying your shoes is no big deal. Oh, it's just a little injury, I'll shrug it off. You're 55 and can't get off the toilet, it gets a lot more serious.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for that question. That was a great question. Anybody else have a question?
I have one and I don't know if we can answer this, but kind of in like the virtual space of things. So obviously, like you mentioned, we've got, you know, anywhere between 20 and 40%, depending on the week, of gyms that are shut down right now. So a lot of people are trying to pivot, and it almost seems like it's too late to like establish a virtual style program. Like, hey, my gym shut down. Now we're trying to do it. Like, what is something maybe that you guys are seeing that's helping people make that transition, even though maybe they should have been a little more proactive about it?
Oh, your timing, Jordan's perfect. Think of it as long-term. This is a tool that you're going to have as part of your gym, almost as a separate business within your gym for the rest of your career. This, if nothing else, this accelerated the entrance of this into our field. So you're going to use it now. Now, what state are you in, Jordan?
So I'm in Minnesota.
Okay, so you're actually most of your states following the Connecticut protocol on how you reopened and all that, which is good. You know, it'd be a lot worse if you were in Arizona, and I would tell you how secretly to burn down your gym and collect insurance.
Right.
That might be the best business plan.
Yeah. Well, one more glass, we'll talk about stuffing money in floor safes and stuff too. But so Jordan, your timing is actually perfect. So for the next 90 days, think of September, October, November, that you use online, offering workouts and some other stuff I'll mention here in just a second, to support at the end of 90 days, going into around November 1st, start thinking of online training as something to attract a client that will not come back, because we're going to have a lot of people, especially in your part of the country, when winter hits, flu season hits, they're not going to want to set foot. But you know what? They will work out online. We've already validated that in the last 6 months. So the things I want to do 6 days a week for every gym or training centric gym like our AF friends here, is that I would go with, I'm going to do at least 6 posts a week on nutrition beyond weight loss. The client is tired of weight loss. Get into, how do I keep my family safe? How do I eat to avoid the flu and the virus? How do I eat to survive? What is healthy eating? It gives us a chance to go back and have the discussions we've always avoided, because we always talk about the magic 10-pound loss and we don't talk about lifestyle. Also, I would go back and do, if you're not into it yet, look up a guy like Johnny Gillespie. I mentioned him before on Jim's show. He's a very, very talented gym owner, but he's really into meditation, and he does it with a lot of his clients. So if I could offer meditation, guided meditation. So for example, Chance gets on twice a week. She works for you and she does meditation and just does a guided 10 to 20 minute program. Post that twice a week. Do your normal team and small group workouts daily, and then 6 days a week, you own the client, because all these are support tools. So even if I do not feel like coming in the gym, I have all these cool tools that I will buy from you. And do not, Jordan, put your right hand up. Put your right hand up. Swear to me that you will not discount for this. Charge full price, because it takes a lot.
I don't discount anything.
Good, good. Well, a lot of guys online that you see, they look desperate because they're trying to go online and they're just, it's like weight loss, discount, discount. If you think about this as long-term, between now and May of next year, which is, we're going to be under mandates and some kind of national, I'm going to say it politely, national baggage that we're going to have to operate these gyms under, that we need to be able to be patiently building an online presence that evolves slowly from support of my clients to support of my clients and the attraction of new clients that won't set foot in a gym in the middle of this winter. And these clients, and the tool I would use for that is a 6-week mini membership. And your wordage on that, Jordan, is going to be, if your gym is closed, which 30% have, or you're afraid to go into your gym, like these big box chains, people just won't open the door. I've got a mini membership. Try it online. In your case, probably $299 for 6 weeks, maybe $199 on the light side if you want to start lower. And let them experience online, and let them get these posts every day. Every day it's stuff on how to improve my life, how to move better. You can send them 3-minute flows. Hey guys, get off your desk. Here's a 3-minute flow pattern. Really good. If you got time, repeat it. So I do 3-minute flows 3 or 4 times a week. It becomes a support tool, but also an attraction, because people can sign up, do the workouts at home, even pay for one-on-one where you coach me one-on-one. Side note there for everybody, sell the kits. Go to somebody like Perform Better, pick out 3 levels of equipment, like a $99, a $149, and a $200 level. Order the equipment for them. Just, sir, Jordan, you're my client. Which of these, how much space you have in your house and how much money you want to spend? Well, I like the $199. I've got a pretty big garage. Okay, let's order it. You order it, send it to them, mark it up 20% so we make some profit out of it. And then we know what tools they have at home because they've sent it. So yeah, I would definitely think about in terms like that. Plus you can make some money off of it. Plus we don't look around. The guy's got 2 rubber dumbbells from Sears, back in the day. He bought back in 1976 when he was in high school. I want to know what equipment he has, but I'll just sell it to him and make 20 or 30% on it.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that, Jordan, because we also do a podcast for my training studio. I just, right before this, I just recorded an episode about clients who are thriving during COVID. And we have a couple of clients who have lost like 20 pounds and doing the best that they've ever done, doing better during COVID than they did when they were actually coming into the club and training. And it's because they have time, because they're sleeping more, because they're less stressed and all those other things. But the other thing that we kept them to was accountability. We kept them accountable to their workouts and to their habits and to their lifestyle, and they've been able to thrive during this. But I think, to Tom's point, what we did was we always do like a reassessment. So if you can come up with some type of, he's on glass number 2, look out everybody. If you can come up with some kind of online assessment tool, that way you can personalize it, because people really like that. And then the other thing that we've done is to what Thom said, for clients who are still afraid to come in, and they're probably about 30% of our clients still are not coming in. So we do outdoor boot camps, we do online one-on-one training, online small group, and then we record our group classes and put them online for the library as well. And then we have a closed Facebook group. Everything everybody else has done. But I think, to Tom's point, you have to really get more personal with them, get a little bit more intimate with them. And I found that you can do it easier online because you are face to face instead of in a small group in a big noisy gym. So it's an opportunity to really kind of get down and dirty and get to the nitty gritty with them to really get to why they want to lose those 10 pounds, like Thom was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Sure. Good question. Thank you.
All right. Who's next?
Yeah, I'll get one kind of to piggyback on the online a little bit. So I'm not really there yet. Just a little background for you, Jim, and everyone else. We just opened up about 5 weeks ago from a place I worked at that closed due to COVID. So we bought out the owner's equipment, and I took with me about 20 to 25 members or so.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. No, it's a big step for us. So we're kind of working right now more on retaining and kind of building our systems rather than trying to get crazy busy. But anyway, I like to think, so I'm kind of thinking about how to develop maybe an online long-term program. Or I saw Rachel Cosgrove sent out an interesting email talking about an evergreen automated workout 12-week type of program that you could just kind of have up on your website. But I mean, I guess my question is, do you guys think that maybe keeping the service smaller, higher value, so you can charge a little more, so keep the online maybe kind of like a one-on-one format almost, so you're not getting burned doing like 1 or 2 people small groups online?
Yeah, well, yes and no. Let me give you I want the clients, the evergreen thing is you want to fake that. Meaning that if I'm going to do a team thing and people want to follow that at home, that's real popular. There's a lot of gyms all over the country that, they log on. Even my daughter's gym will have 40, 50 people log on to do a team. But if you do the team, you can pre-record those, just make them time neutral. So if I record them, and Jim and I are going to come in the week, and we've got Chance, and the 3 of us are going to do workouts for the weekend, then we all bring like 5 different shirts and we record them. We don't reference winter, Christmas, July 4th, any holiday. We make them time neutral, so I can put them in a library and reuse those for the team level. The small group people, Brooke, that's where they log on. I can have a live instructor, but I can also put replays up going that, look, we're going to go live like 4 days a week, but we're going to offer this 7 days a week because it's going to be some of the other ones. If you want to follow along, you just can't ask questions and you won't get coaching. Right. So the small group, you're going to use a combination. The one-on-one is strictly just in your face and charge more. So where I think many trainers like Rachel are going is they're looking for that $99 client, and I don't want them. Right. If I'm going to go for this, I'm going to put all the emphasis on small group and one-on-one because that's where all the big money is. Plus, I can individualize the process, and that's the client right now that's out looking. We really don't want a like 24-hour closed, I believe, 100 gyms. We want 5.6% of their clients. A typical 24-hour has about 6% of all their clients in one-on-one training. That's who I want. I don't want the other 94% of their clients. So that's why I keep the prices high. In your case, you set it up. Now, back to Jordan's question, jumping back to that, I'm going to set this up as going forward because there's a lot of clients that will not come back to the gym this winter. That's one of the biggest things that as a group we need to think about is when virus hits flu season, we're going to lose a lot of ground. The gyms are going to be really going to have to rethink what they're doing. If I have a strong online presence, it allows me to go through that process. Most of us will not get shut down again because we're through the crazy state period. Whoever going to get reshut got shut. So the rest of us, if we put an emphasis toward the small group, toward the one-on-one, toward online support, then if something does go negative in the winter, then we're positioned to fight easier, to stay in business longer. So you have to think of this in terms of where are we going to be by summer of next year. We're not going to get out of this. And this is what everybody makes the mistake. And Jim and I were talking privately over our first glass of wine was, is this, you're going to be under mandates until next summer. This isn't going to go away. Whoever's patient, whoever's willing to reinvent their business, to reset their business, it's going to be a tremendous chance to make money if we're on the attack motion. But almost every gym owner is on, my God, give me back 2019. I just want to high five and hug people. I kind of get that, but it's not going to go back that way for a year, maybe longer. It's going to be different. So we have to prepare for the worst part of this. And by diluting our team, by looking at online presence, by charging real money for online, getting clients in, by getting them equipment now, because it's going to be harder to get in winter when everybody gets locked down again, by thinking ahead for 12 months, we're going to make some money if you want to make money, if you're prepared to make money.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really where I was going with that was, I mean, we have like 2 trainers right now, and I don't even have the band. We don't even do team. All we do is small group and one-on-one. So I don't even have the bandwidth to chase like a $99 client out here. I guess my thing was,
Brooke, tell them where you live. You're in the Hamptons.
East Hampton, yeah. So
yeah, martinis are $24.
Yes,
so yeah, $99 doesn't. Yeah, so not that I've been there and might know that personally, but I'm just saying martinis are $24.
No, so our average client spend is about $400 a month or so for a small group. So it's fairly high. So we really don't need too many people to be super successful. So I don't even really want to look at anybody that low on a price point, honestly.
How big is your space?
It's 4,800, but the thing is, it's a split training, so it's 2,400 up, 2,400 down, which is kind of annoying. However, it might be advantageous in a time like this, where if for some reason we need 14 feet of space, is what I'm hearing New York State might mandate for us to open up. I could do 4 or 5 small group up, 4 or 5 small group down, which would actually be fine. Honestly, I would be thrilled with that.
Hey, Jim, let me jump on that, would you? And by the way, everybody, his name, it says Daniel, but his real name is Brooke. I'm not miscalling him. That's his real name. So we've been working together for a while. So a big picture is as the states like Georgia, Texas, California, all these states opened and closed, then everybody scrambled. And if we look at this, there was only one state in the gym business that really did it right, and that was Connecticut. So now we're seeing other states copy the Connecticut model, which is, Brooke, and you and I have talked about, and your partners, is that this is 14 feet distancing. It's going to be limits. So Massachusetts picked it up. New York is starting to emulate a lot of the Connecticut model. And most other states, because it worked for Connecticut, are going to emulate these. So I'm anticipating some version of that will even appear in California and Florida as we get into the next round of reopenings. That said, is once you get to that stage, they're not going to close you down again. But you're going to have to be running a gym that will be able to survive cutbacks and negative stuff. And I'll throw this out. I was talking to Jim. I'm even reluctant to release this, but I'm going to tell everybody, and I would tell your organizations and everybody that you associate with, the biggest mistake that all the gym owners made in Georgia, Texas, and Arizona is they opened up and they didn't wear a mask. I do not care about your politics. I do not care about your rights. That's your choice. You have the right to succeed as a gym owner, and you have the right to fail. You've earned the right to be successful. You've earned the right to fail. There is no entitlement in this case. So if you choose not to go with mask, that is your choice. I respect it. I'll get out of your way. And if you lose your gym, that's your choice. I'm telling you, put mask on your staff, mask on you, and require mask on all the members coming in. You will lose that 5% far right that they're going to make it a rights political issue. I'm willing to lose those. I will say this, and especially since we got a wide variety of people on this little call here, is if you've opened for 60 days and you only have 50 to 60% of your clients in the gym, they don't trust you. They're not in your gym because they don't feel safe. What have you done not to make them feel safe? So the guys in Arizona, I talked to a couple of them, they were into 60 days of the reopen before they got shut down again, and they're running 40 to 50% of the people. No mask on the team, no mask on the owner, and the owner standing there. I had an owner today, I just talked to this morning. I've known him for 20 years. He runs a very successful gym, 200. He's one of the best coaches I've ever worked with, and he has COVID. And so I'm telling him today, which is the hardest call I've done in the last couple of weeks, I told my old friend he's got to shut his gym down for 30 days because he's got to reset because he was not coaching in a mask. So how many people are going to question this? We shut it down. He's in a northern state, so he's in the middle of a beautiful summer. Shut it down, fumigate, reload, launch again, first week of September. He screwed up. He really screwed up because you're going to have to, if you want to stay open, you want the economy to reopen, you want this gym to stay open, put mask on your team to protect them. That's your obligation as an owner. Wear the damn mask. Stop getting political about it. Just do it and require your members to wear masks, because then you're going to get back that 50% of the clients that do not feel safe in your gym. They don't feel safe in your gym. It's that simple. Example, went to my favorite restaurant, opened after 3 months, sitting outside, just beautiful night in Florida, sitting out there. Guy comes up, I'm like, okay, I feel good about this, 3 months. Guy comes up, hands the menu, leans in, his face is right here. He points down and this is the wine you want. I'm like, dude, get your face away from me. You know, he just, no mask, no distancing, nothing in Florida, which we're obviously, I talked to the manager says, I don't believe in it. He says, I think it's all BS. I believe, and I'm in Florida, he was more of a red state guy. So here's this really nice pub, this really nice outdoor seating, and 3 weeks later, they were closed again because why? They had COVID in the restaurant. And so you can politically fight this, or you can just adapt to what the reality is today. And the reality is today that we're going to be under a lockdown for about a year. You either grasp what's in front of you and make it work, or you cling to 2019 and you will fail. And so it's a tough decision. But guys, put mask on your people and stop the clients from coming in without masks. Because as soon as you get a contamination, which you will, final point on this rant, Jim, this wine stuff, I like these talks. Final point on this is the virus will always find a way. We're not even halfway through this process, I don't think. The virus will find a way, meaning we're seeing more and more public officials get it. The governor in Ohio today just tested positive. We're seeing more, it seeps in, it's insidious, it's finding its way. And as gym owners, we have to keep it at bay. And right now we have 3 strategies: social distancing, hand sanitation, sanitizing the gyms, and mask. And that's it. And if you don't believe in it, God bless you. Don't argue with me. I don't care. It's your right to fail. It's your right to succeed. If you want to stay in business, my recommendation after 40 years of pounding people is put the damn mask on. Everybody.
Yeah. And to me, my political opinion in my business doesn't matter. Only thing that matters in my business is the numbers. And for me, I'm doing all the safety protocols and the CDC guidelines because I believe that we haven't yet, but I think we will have a COVID positive person in the gym. And so if we're following all the protocols to the letter, then we can mitigate the damage and maybe get away with just having a couple of people quarantined instead of closing the business, because the protocols and the procedures kind of isolate that person, or we can isolate when they were in, who they had contact with, all of those things. And so that we can mitigate the damage so that we can continue to stay open, you know, be above board, be transparent, but still be open for business.
What other questions, gang? We have, what, Jim, 10 minutes left, roughly?
Yep.
What else, go? I'm enjoying this. Throw some questions out. This is good.
The question I had, Tom, and we talked on it before everybody jumped in, is like, so I know that business is going to be down. I know we're still down about 40% from a revenue standpoint. And I don't see us bouncing back more than 20% maybe in the next year. So obviously I want to keep marketing spend up, but do I lay off staff or do I just run in the red? What do I do? Those are the two options I see, is either reduce my expenses. The biggest expense is always payroll, or run in the red so that I can keep my marketing and the level of service, customer experience, all that stuff up. Do you agree with those options, or do you see another option?
I think you take it a step further. When you own any business, be it a restaurant, dry cleaners, or a gym, you only have three options to make money. You cut expenses, but you cannot save yourself into profitability. Most gyms are tight anyway. Maybe I could get 5% out of your budget, Jim, maybe. So I increase volume, which I just sell more, which I'm going to come back to, or I increase the return per client. And that's what I'm telling the Anytime folks, is just go for the return per client, make it off fewer clients. So the key is, this is a weird thing, but back in my 100 years ago martial arts day, there was a guy named Bill Wallace, and I went to one of his workshops, and he was called Superfoot. He was in all the Chuck Norris movies. He had a foot he could stand, and his foot would go from the floor to your head at 60 miles an hour. It was just that athlete. So we were out. I have to say there were cocktails involved in this. And he was playing a guitar with his toes. Somebody was holding it up, and he was strumming it with his foot, holding it. He was that weird strong. Plus, he had a little act work up. He could actually kind of strum along with his foot. It was really cool. So I said, so what's the real secret? He says, what do you mean? So what's the real secret of fight? He says, hit the guy hard, and when he's down, just keep hitting him until he doesn't move. And I go, that's your whole strategy. He goes, this worked for me. I'm the world champion. I'm going, okay. So what's that mean in business? Everybody right now is trying to save and cut expenses. What you need to do is recapitalize your gyms as best you can and attack. And starting September 1st, I want to run a stream of testimonials about how safe my gym is. I want to run a stream of testimonials about, I could have gone anywhere. I came here because I'm safe. I went to my gym and almost touched the door, and it was like nasty. And I had to find a new way. So you know what? I found Brooke, and this gym is so cool. And so we attack. And I mentioned the tool earlier, the 6-week mini membership. Hey, if your gym's closed, so if Brooke's running these ads, for example, or Jordan's running them in his market, I want Jordan to have run one where he's looking in the camera, not with the ball cap on, Jordan, not with the ball cap, but going.
Go to the speaker school, Jordan. Go to the speaker school.
So he's going. So George's looking at the camera going, look, if you don't feel safe in your gym, or your gym's not even there anymore, come see me. I have a 6-week mini membership for somewhere between $199 to $299, depending on the market you live in. And then I want him to have a series of 3 to 5 per week testimonials, 1 minute long, going, and a woman in a mask, 50 years old, going, I used to work out at this big chain, and I just couldn't even go in anymore. I didn't feel safe. I still feel so safe here. And then boom, at the end, 6-week mini membership, and go for it. The mini membership we've been using in 7 countries since March. And it's a beautiful thing. It's working really well, but people don't push on it. So back to your question, Jim, if I'm going to go, man, September on, you can either rule the market. 30% of the gyms in this country are closed, not going to close, Brooke, or in this case, Jordan, but back to your stuff, are gone. They're completely gone. And I'm thinking it's going to be as high as 40% total shutdowns by the end of September. There has never been a better time, as Superfoot would say, is once they're on the ground, just beat them. just keep beating them until they can't move. The market is in our favor. If you're a gym owner, but I need to refinance, I need to take my debt structured over 10 years. I may need to borrow $50,000 to go forward to cover operating losses through the end of the year. But there's a time to attack and there's a time to be passive. Most of the owners right now are afraid, they're frustrated, they're doing stupid rants on social media, they're angry at the government, they're doing stuff like, I'm not wearing masks, and they're, Biden or Trump, they're back and forth. On your gym site, you don't do that in your business site. You know what the guys that are making money are? The guys are quietly going about their business. They're reaching out, stealing everybody's clients that failed. They're dragging everybody with them, and they're just kicking ass. So there's a chance to attack. There's a chance to go forward. There's a chance to really kick some ass here if people are aggressive. Hey, Matt.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Matt,
Thank you.
Almost done. Yeah.
I just came across it in my feed. I wish I would have got on time. Is this recorded anywhere where I can?
Yeah, the whole episode will be on the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'll check it out.
All right, and thanks for that, Thom. And don't feel bad. I've gone to the speaker school, and I know he's ranting on you for your hat. I know secretly.
No, just on the commercial, sure. Not today. Just if you're doing a commercial, take your hat off, dude.
Secretly, because I've gone to the speaker school. Secretly, he's hating this beard right now. When I went to the speaker school, he just berated me just unmercifully. Shave that shit off your face or something to that effect.
I don't want to say you're getting older, dude, but I'm seeing the gray there. You're getting that before ad. You look at the before guy before he's got the hot date with a woman 20 years younger, and he's gonna like put the dye in. So
my just for men. Yeah.
Yeah. Just saying, man. Just saying.
Yeah. All right. Well, Matthew, I know you hopped in late, but do you have a question for Thom?
Not really. I just was trying to see what you guys were talking about. I barely even read what this was about. I just hopped on.
Okay.
Oh, mostly we're drinking and driving today, so we're doing that. So,
fortunately, I don't have anything.
So we probably got time for maybe one more question, Jim, and then a wrap up. I know you're hard closed today at 4 your time.
Yep. Anybody else got a final question?
I have a final question.
Yeah.
I hope it'll be final. Talking about we've been able to maintain a decent amount of our personal training clients, and some of them are just frozen. So I'm sure that I'll see them again, but probably 15-20% have expired in the time between March and now. Do you have any good tips on how to plant the seed for coming back? I can't put an expiration date on anything because I don't know when after COVID would be, but how to plant that seed
What stage of opening are you in this week?
I've been reopened for about 2 months. 2 months, yes.
Okay, so yeah, but just normal restrictions. We're not. Yeah. Okay. So starting September 1st, I would not waste a whole lot of money the rest of this month, but I would launch heavily on the 8th, which is the day after the holiday. I would reach out to every former training member you've had going back to 2018. And I would send them a snail letter, and hand-addressed, old-fashioned letter, email, follow-up, and a text to look for both of those, and offer them as a former client that come back. If you're not comfortable in your gym, you don't feel safe in your gym, bring this in. It's good for 30 days. First workout must be taken by October 31st. I would also do, this is not for public consumption, this would be for your clients, as I would do a 5 to 6 minute video of your clients, or for your clients, of you walking up to your front door and saying, okay, look, typical gym, I'd have to grab it. How do I get in your gyms? If I go to grab a handle, you've lost 50% of your clients that don't want to grab that handle. So have you put that thing where I can pull it with my elbow? Have you put the part where I can pull it with my foot? Do you have the electronic buzzer? You're scaring, keep in mind, 50% of your people are terrified. So I'm going to send a video of walking up, and then before I go in, I put my mask on. I step into the door, open it or open it safely. And then I walk in, here's my staff. They've got the mask on. Here's my treadmills. Don't put out of order signs on every one of them. Take half your treadmills out and put them in storage. You've read my letters, I'm sure, on that. And so I'm showing people that they're safe. I'm going to do 4 to 6 minutes video and send it just to my clients so they know that I'm taking control of the situation. People are dying for leadership, and people are dying for lack of leadership. So people want you to make them feel safe. To do that, take control of the spin. This is really, for most of the gyms, a media problem. We don't know how to let them know that we're okay. We don't spend enough money on letting them know that we're different, we're safe than the other gyms. Most guys are, they're open, but they're spending $1,000 a month on social media. September, October, in your case with your gyms, I want to spend $3 to $5 grand a month. How do we do that? Back to Jim's question, I can cut so much money out of it, but only so much. I can't save myself into profitability. Therefore, I'm going to attack. I'm going to refinance my gym, get fresh 10-year loans. In your case, with your experience, go back and get a SBA 10-year, refinance all your debt in both units. Do what you need to do. But I need money to attack in September, October, and probably $3,000 to $5,000 a month in social media because I want to burn down every other gym. There's money to be made if we just stop trying to grab 2019 and start thinking about what's it take to be good in the middle of a pandemic. And the days are not coming back. The way that, especially AF or Anytime Fitness friends here, you're never going back to those days. This organization either evolves or it's going to hurt, because the mass memberships are just, it's going to be a hard thing to do. But the training clients, the small group 101, there's a market for that. And there's people loose. They fit so well in your boxes because your boxes are perfect. You have all the attributes as an organization to attack. I hope they decide to be more aggressive because they've got the right owners. They've got the right size gyms. They've got the right mindset because they've already moved there. Will they just get after it? If not, you individual owners and some of our coaches here nationwide, like Chance, are going to have to lead that and kind of force people to do it. Great time to make money if we're aggressive. Great time to attack. The tools are there. But think in terms of 10-year financing and think in terms of 12 months. I need to kick ass from September 8th all the way through to May 31st next year. I need to run these things as hot as I can run them because I want to destroy the competition. I want to pick up every lost member, and I really want to be different than everybody else, as we talked about earlier. For example, Jordan, with your question on social media and online presence, I want to own that as well.
And the one thing that I would throw in on that is that what I did is I just recently applied for EIDL loan. It's a $150,000 loan from the SBA. I think it's about maybe a 3% interest rate. And then the first note isn't due until a year from the loan is originated. And then it's a 10-year note at 3%. So that's another option, but check with your banker, because I believe if you get it, I think if you apply for the EIDL loan, then it disqualifies you from the PPP. But if you've already gotten a PPP, then you can still apply for the EIDL. And it's a real simple process. Just go to, I think it's sba.gov or .com.
Yeah, no, exactly. SBA.gov. There's a guy named Paul Bosley, Bosley. I think everybody here has got my email address or knows how to get a hold of my company. I have a contact in Florida that he's got 40 some years of experience of specializing in small business loans through the SBA for gym owners. He's the best in the country, I believe. So you want to look at that. Also, just to add on that, Jim, there's even the express loans, which are about $150,000. Those, even if you've done all the other loans, those are there and they're still cheap and they're still 10-year loans. So refinance these gyms, stretch out your debt, reduce your expenses, but have enough money so you can afford. Don't just sit there and go cheap. Have enough money where you can spend for marketing, you can take business, you can drive these businesses. You have to have the right staff. You have to have the right marketing. You can't wait for them to come back. You have to go out and bring them back. And to do that, people, they need to know you're safe. It's always going to come down to that. Are you safe? In the next 12 months, can you keep me safe? And that's got to be the theme of probably 90% of your marketing between now and May.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for hopping on. This has been great. I was really pumped for it, and it exceeded my expectations. Thom, thanks for taking the time. I'm glad we got you to your second glass of wine.
That's not a hard thing to do.
That's true, right? It's like getting a greyhound to run. But you want to mention anything before we wrap up?
No, most of everybody on here, if you haven't gotten the series of letters I've written, I think the last podcast that you and I did is probably still the most current. There was almost, an hour of that, I think. If you want to talk more of the, if you want to talk more of the technique and stuff, go back and revisit that. Chance, if there's something I can help you with you and your group, if you want to do one of these without the wine, of course, but if you want to do that, I'd be happy to. You want to get 10 or 20 owners together, I'm more than good to do whatever you need. So let me know. Everybody else, just stay off. I'm going to tell you one weird thing, and I'll wrap it up on this. If you spend a lot of time following the other coaches on social media, all you're going to do is sit in the bathroom on the floor, cry, and drink vodka. It's the most depressing world I've ever seen out there. Stay away from that. Protect your brand, stay out of politics, work on growing your business. Don't rant on anything on social media. Don't pick a political side on social media. Just be a good business person. Protect your businesses. Protect your brand. In that case, stay out of these, because it's anytime you post something like that, it takes down probably 40 to 50% of your clients that don't agree with your stance. This is about business. This is about being good at business. Stay off social media. It's so negative right now. It's almost a wasteland. I posted since 2011 on Facebook. I haven't posted probably 3 times in a month because it's just, I can't even stand to look at it. It's so negative right now. It's just, I've got to take care of my own businesses. I can't get caught up in somebody's madness over politics or fake news or whatever God they're talking about this week. I'm going to stay away from that. Take care of your business first. Everything else will come together. But attack, final word, go hard, attack, chase. You've got a rare opportunity between September and May to probably double the size of your businesses if you really get after this. That's how many members are floating around out there without a home. That's how many training clients have nowhere to go. 30 to 40% of all the gyms in the country have closed or will close. If you're aggressive, there's no better chance to really reset your gyms and let them grow. Think of them differently. You have a chance to correct all your badness, all the nuances that you weren't happy with. You can change everything. You can take a Anytime Fitness and turn it into a training-centric gym. You can take a training gym and dump the team and grow it into small group and one-on-one. Diversify your risk. You can be anything you want to be by the end of summer. As long as you have a plan by mid-September and you're willing to attack, you're going to make some money.
All right. Well, Thom, thanks a lot again for coming on. Your episodes always do really well. And that's not a testament to me. That's a testament to the great information that you give out. So I really appreciate it. All the links to contact Thom and find out more will be in the show notes. Go to trainergym.net. And this podcast will be up next Tuesday. So for you guys, just go to trainergym.net, or you can find it on the Masters in Fitness Business Podcast YouTube channel as well. And if you click in, be sure to subscribe, because I know this is not the last time Thom is going to be on this show. So thanks, everybody. I really appreciate it.
Hey, Chance, I owe you a dinner, by the way. We got canceled. Still owe you one and some wine.
Right? We'll go out soon eventually.
Yeah.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining, guys. I appreciate it.